Hello traders, my name is John Paul, and in this video I'm going to show you a tutorial on how to get started trading with the latest version of the charts using the free NinjaTrader charting platform. Now, using NinjaTrader is free with sim mode, and you can get live data so you can practice and learn. It's a great way to start your journey as a trader or as a day trader and how to understand the markets in general. Now, we'll be going over the installing, the setting up of NinjaTrader, the charts. There's a new version 8.1 which is a little different as well. And if you're interested in looking at the E-mini, the NASDAQ, the Dow, we'll go over a little bit into that. Now, you're also able to get live free 2-week data. So let's begin. First, you're going to visit NinjaTrader.com website. So we'll start off here with NinjaTrader.com. Now, when you first come to NinjaTrader.com, you have a Get Started button here, and it's going to point us creating an account. So the recent version of NinjaTrader, you have to create a username and password. At this point, it's going to ask you to enter your email address. So in this box here, you type in your email address, and you're going to click Sign Up. After you type your email address, check your email. You're going to have to click on the link in that email that they send you in order to confirm your email address. Now, you should receive an email that looks similar to this to confirm your email address. And what you're going to do is click on the Confirm email address in order to get you started. Now, after you confirm your email address, it's automatically going to open up your browser to a page that looks like this, so you can create a username and create a password in order to log in to your NinjaTrader charting platform. So this is something new that they've recently implemented, where every time you log into NinjaTrader, you have to type in your username and password, and that's for security reasons. So go ahead and create a username and create a password. Now, after you've created your username and password, it's going to bring you up to this page. Now, this is really important because we're not going to open up a live trading account. All we want is the NinjaTrader charting platform to use for free, to learn, to have the free data, to see all the markets. So down here, you're going to see here some small text here. You're going to see some small text that says not ready for live trading. Try the risk-free simulation trading. So this is what you want to click on. And it's going to ask you for your name, first name, last name, and a phone number. Go ahead and type this out. Here we are at the main page after you've created your username and password. Now, we want to go with the desktop version. The web version is not as robust and you can't do as many things, at least right now. But the desktop version, you install it into your PC. You have to have a computer, PC, Windows-based computer, laptop. So we're going to download the desktop version. So you click on here, desktop, and it will give you an opportunity to download the most recent version. So you should have the most recent version of NinjaTrader here by clicking the download, and it will automatically download to your folder, your computer. It could be in your downloads folder, your documents, but you'll see a download begin. Now, once you've downloaded NinjaTrader, you can go ahead and now install it. So find wherever this file is located in your downloads folder. We're going to open the file. You'll also have the opportunity to watch some of these how to get started videos. I think they're good to learn, understand. We also have our own how to get started trading videos on the Superdome, on charts, on creating charts. But this is a great way to get started learning a little bit more about NinjaTrader. Definitely recommend looking at the how-to videos here. This next part of the tutorial is going to cover issues that you may encounter. Not everyone's going to have this problem, but if you try to install NinjaTrader on your computer, at least for me, I have this issue where it says there's a problem with the installer package. When I try to continue to install, it says that the wizard for installation has ended prematurely. I don't really know why this happens. At least for me it happens, and I can tell you that if I'm having this issue, maybe some other traders who are trying to install NinjaTrader are having the same issue. So I'm going to show you how to get around and how to install NinjaTrader. The reason why this happens is that this has to install as an administrator. And sometimes computers don't always have admin rights for every program that you install. So the first thing I would do is I would try to install this as a admin if possible. Now I don't have here an option to install this as an administrator. Even if I click here, show more options here, and I do install as an admin, I don't see here the opportunity to do that. So what we're going to do is try to open up the file that we downloaded to install NinjaTrader as an administrator, and we're going to do that through the command prompt. So go down to your taskbar, to your search, and type in CMD, which is the command prompt, and open it up as an administrator. So you have to choose Run as Administrator, and it's going to open up a box where you can type in where this file is located on your downloads, your desktop, in order to run it as an admin. Now once you've opened up command prompt here, this is just another way to open up the file as an administrator. Now we're going to find the path of the file. Now the path of the file where you download it could be in your downloads folder, it could be in your desktop, it could be in your documents. So we want to find out this particular NinjaTrader download file, where is it and where is it located. So we're going to show the path. We're going to copy as path here. Now what we want to do is we want to find the path of this file where it's located in our computer. Now this is very easy. Wherever you have this file downloaded, we right click on the file and you choose copy as path. And this is, for me, where I have it located on my desktop. Now it may be a little bit different if it's located in your downloads folder. Instead of saying desktop, it may say downloads instead. But wherever you have this NinjaTrader install file located, this is what you want to save. Okay. Now we're going to go back to our command prompt and run as administrator. So we have this here, and we want to copy this wherever your file is located so we can run the file as an admin. And as soon as I did that, this comes up and it says we'd like to start the NinjaTrader setup. So really all you're doing is you're opening up the file to download NinjaTrader as an admin. It won't allow us to do that by directly double clicking on the file, so all I'm doing is using the command prompt as an administrator, typing in where this file is found. C Windows System 32, this would be your user, says your users, Solar, and then desktop NinjaTrader.install MSI. So really the only thing that you would have to change would be this probably is your downloads folder and whatever your username is for your computer. And then we click next, and now it's going to say, do you want to install NinjaTrader? Do you want to repair it? Do you want to remove it? Since I already have NinjaTrader installed on this computer, this is asking me whether I want to repair or remove it. But for you, you'll have an option to install it fresh. After the install is finished downloading NinjaTrader onto your computer, you should see an option to log in using the username and password that you created earlier in order to log in into NinjaTrader. Alright, it may take a few seconds, sometimes up to 10 or 15 seconds to actually complete, and now you'll have NinjaTrader on your computer. Now remember, what I like to do before you start making any changes is actually understand this idea of saving a workspace. Okay, so if you're looking at how to save a workspace and keeping everything the same way that you had previously defaulted, the best way to do that would be to come over here to your control panel. So this is the main functionality of NinjaTrader, and we're going to save a workspace, the defaulted workspace. We're going to click Save. And that way, if you make any changes, just remember to save the workspace, and then when it's time to log out of NinjaTrader or to shut down NinjaTrader, you'd come here to Workspaces, you'd save it, and now it's finished. You click the X button here on the control panel. It's going to say, do you want to save everything? You say yes to all, and you can click yes, and now it saves everything as it was. If you want to go back to NinjaTrader, you would double click either the shortcut on your desktop. We're back to this pop-up box here, and now you again username and password to log in for the NinjaTrader desktop application to start up again. Alright, now that you have a chart up and running, they're going to give you a defaulted chart settings unless you start changing and start looking at all the indicators that they have to offer. The one thing that a lot of traders want is the live data. Now you should already have, if you're new to NinjaTrader, they should already provide you some type of live data or 2-week live data. Now you obviously want to have live data in order to see the charts working and moving and to look at different markets, the NASDAQ, the E-mini, the Dow, the currencies. So when you come here to connections, one of the options here is to configure the data feeds, whether it be Continuum, whether it be CQG or other data feeds for crypto. But some options here are not turned on by default. So for me, they're turned on by default, but you have to turn them on. Now some of you may not have all of the data feeds turned on, and so you want to have this turned on in case you want to have live data or free data from other sources. So if I come here to connection, you're going to see that all I have is the option for playback in simulation. Now I did a video on this a few weeks ago where it shows you how to turn this on. I'm going to briefly review the option that turns on all of the data feeds so you can see and access that option here in NinjaTrader. We're going to come here to Tools, to Options, and then there is a checkbox which says Multi-Provider. This multi-provider box here in the General settings needs to be turned on in order for you to have access to other data feeds, including the free data feed. So I click Apply. I have to restart NinjaTrader. I understand that. Okay. And now once I click on the Connections tab, you can see that I have here all these different options available to me. So I click here Configure, and now I can go ahead and configure the data feeds, whether it be the crypto, the forex.com, or even the NinjaTrader Continuum. Now remember, they should give you already a 2-week data feed free just for using the platform, but if you need to turn this on to get other data feeds, you can go ahead and turn on this access. Now one of the ways that we recommend is starting with a new fresh data feed. Click here NinjaTrader Continuum, click Add, and that way it allows you to put in a username and a password. I would also recommend connect at startup, because that way it starts up automatically. You don't have to physically click on the button to turn on the data feed every time you start NinjaTrader. And you need a username and password in order to access the data feeds. And they'll also provide this to you once you open up a live account. Now if the data feed doesn't start automatically, we click Connections and you choose the data feed that you created or one that's already created for you. So in this case, I'm going to manually turn on my NinjaTrader Continuum because it doesn't automatically turn on as soon as you create it. So I have to turn on the data feed so we can have access to data. Now it should take a few seconds to turn on. It's yellow, it's trying to connect, and it should turn green, and you should hear a chime that says we're connected. So wait until this turns green to ensure that you're actually connected. And if you hover over it, it should say NinjaTrader Continuum connected. Now we have live data. You could expand the chart. Usually I have this set aside on a different monitor. And now we have a chart with live data moving up and down as needed. You can click on the indicators to turn them off, turn them on. You could right click on the chart and have options in order to start a strategy. Choose an indicator, choose a different data series. Now if you want to look at the Dow, right now I'm in the E-mini S&P. If you want to look at the Dow, click on the chart and just start typing Dow, and that way it'll bring up here an opportunity for a stock, an index, a future. So if I want to look at a future, I would click here Future, and we have the options of the micro Dow or the regular E-mini Dow. Okay, and I double click on that, and now this is the Dow market. If I want to look at the NASDAQ, I click on the chart, I click NQ, that's the NASDAQ, and I want to make sure that I choose futures, because if I click all, then it gives me all of the NASDAQ. I just want to see the futures markets, and let's say I want to do the micro NASDAQ. So I double click on that, and it's going to change to the micro NASDAQ. If I want to go back to the E-mini, I click on the chart, and I know what the E-mini is. It's ES, or if I want to do the micro E-mini, it's MES. But remember, just as long as you choose futures, it'll give you the options only in futures. Now this is the micro E-mini. Now there's a lot of things that you can do with NinjaTrader. You can add a lot of indicators, you could test, you could do analyzing. So it's a great charting platform. Again, I like to use on my 1 minute charts or 5 minute charts the ATR, the average true range. And that way I have the ATR to tell me if the market's slow or fast. So right now the market's pretty slow. It's only working at 3 ticks. Earlier, or if you look at yesterday, go back to yesterday, you see here that the market is working at about 2 points. Now you can also change the text size here on the side if needed. You can right click on the chart, or I should say right click here on the scale until you see properties, and now you can make a few adjustments as well. You can also right click on the chart and choose properties and make even further adjustments. I usually like to have 100 as the distance, this is in pixels, the distance between the edge of the chart and the graph here of the last candle and the edge here. So I like this little space here personally. If I click here, properties again, right click on the chart and choose properties, I like to make the text on the side a little bit larger as well. There are a couple of tools that exist. A chart enhancer, for example, I'm going to do another video on, where this really makes it easier. It's an add-on for NinjaTrader. It's called the chart enhancer. So I'll do a video on that later. But this is the basics of the chart to enlarge the text. So I'm going to come over here to the font, and I'm going to make this a little bit larger. We'll do, let's say, 25. And now you can see it's much larger, the text on the side. Now, any changes that you make, remember you have to click Preset and you have to click Save. And that way, the next time you open the chart, it remembers this is how you want the chart to appear. Or if you want to make it a little bit smaller, it's kind of big. I come here to 20, click Apply. Maybe I want to change the way it looks. Instead of Arial, I want to be this book antique. So this looks a little bit different. And again, click Preset, click Save, and it remembers this is how you want the size of the text and the font to appear next time you open up NinjaTrader. So these are presets that it allows you to remember how you want the chart to look. The next part of the video is going to cover some basics on NinjaTrader, opening up charts, some settings you may want to configure. So the next part of the video is going to cover that.